There comes a moment in every wedding photographer's journey when natural light simply isn't enough. When the sun disappears, the DJ lights start fighting for dominance, and your camera quietly whispers, "Mate, this is a terrible idea." But today, we step beyond the safe zone. We shape light itself. We carve outlines into the darkness. We bend time. We drag shutters. And we unleash colour. This is the moment where flash stops just being a tool and it becomes art. Welcome to Lesson 7, Creative Flash Techniques for Impact. So welcome back to Light It Right. This is Lesson 7, which means you've officially made it past the please don't blind the registrar stage into the fun and creative territory. Today is all about the dramatic stuff. Rim lighting, multiple flash setups, silhouettes, slow shutter speeds, party magic, and gels. Basically everything that all of a sudden makes your portfolio look really expensive. And the best part of it all is it's not that complicated. It just looks complicated, which is perfect because couples absolutely love thinking that you're a wizard. So let's dive in. So let's kick this off with rim lighting, because honestly, if I could only take one dramatic flash technique to a wedding, it would be this. Basically put, rim lighting is outlining your couple with light so that they pop out of the background. It's flattering, dimensional, and it can turn even the most unflattering church car park into something really dramatic. The setup is beautifully simple. I'll place one flash on a light stand behind the couple, pointing back towards them. I find that waist height works really well if you want to control the spread of light. Sometimes I'll also pop a grid on the flash as well if I want to control that spread even further. The couple generally then looks at me as if I've asked them to stand in front of an industrial floodlight, but once they see the photo and how it works, they're all in. I usually start my flash at 1/32 power for a nice subtle glow. But if I want that full angelic glow, like the couple have ascended to meet their ancestors, then I'll push it to 1/16 or even 1/8 power. It works perfectly at sunset, brilliantly after dark, and it can turn rain into magic because every single droplet lights up like glitter. Silhouettes are like the moody cousin of rim lights. They work perfectly when you're working with a dramatic background. Think doorways, arches, stained glass windows, or sunset skies. But equally as well when the room decor is, shall we say, uninspiring. All I'm doing here is again placing a flash on a light stand behind the couple. But instead of lighting them, I'm lighting the space behind them. I expose my camera for that background light, which in turn makes the couple appear as a dark, clean outline in the image. This is where you get those kiss silhouettes that all couples absolutely adore. You know the ones, the, "Oh my God, that's going on my Instagram" shots. If you've got haze or humidity, or even a cold evening with a little bit of mist, this technique suddenly becomes 10 times more dramatic. And if you don't, well then a small touch of atmosphere spray can work absolute wonders. Just don't overdo it unless you want the couple to look like they're starring in an 80s rock video. Power wise for my flashes, I'm usually somewhere around 1/8 or 1/16 power, just depending on how bright I want the glow behind the couple. Alright, so this is where we start to feel like we're lighting a movie set, when I'm doing more cinematic or editorial type portraits. Not only that, this works wonders for those detail shots that just need to look expensive. This is when multiple flash setups come into play. A simple 2 flash setup is my usual go-to. One behind the couple, creating that rim light or backlight, and one just off to the side, giving that soft fill so they aren't completely lost in the shadows. I'll make sure here that I grid both lights so that everything remains contained and shaped. But when I really want that luxury magazine feel, I'll bring in a 3rd flash. So the backlight stays where it is, then I'll have a key light on one side and a small hair light or kicker on the other side. Suddenly the image has got dimension, depth and energy. This setup is beautiful for dress shots, ring shots and detail shots. Honestly, I'll use it any time I want to just elevate an image. Just make sure maybe that you warn the videographer before you start firing off 3 flashes, because they do tend to get a little jumpy. So now let's talk about slow shutter drag, the technique that can turn any mediocre dance floor into something that looks like an Ibiza nightclub. It's honestly one of my favourite reception techniques because it just makes everything feel alive. What I'm doing here is setting a really slow shutter, something like maybe 1/4 of a second, maybe up to a 1/15 of a second. And then I'm firing the flash on rear curtain sync. The flash freezes the couple and the slow shutter smears all of those DJ lights across the screen in streaks and patterns. You get motion, energy and chaos, but the couple stays extremely sharp. Then comes the fun bit, camera movement. I'll pan, twist, tilt and wiggle, or whatever creates the most interesting light trails. This is the one time during wedding photography that it's perfectly acceptable to look like you're having a small seizure whilst you're taking your photo. It works best when the DJ's brought some truly questionable lights. The more mismatched they are, the better shutter drag look you get. Just make sure you watch out for the slightly drunk and confused uncle who will wander into your shot looking like a lost woodland bear. Gels. Ah yes, the dessert course for any flash photographer. Gels are where you can really start to play with the mood of an image. I love using a cool gel behind the couple, something like a blue or a magenta, and then a warm light on the front. Instantly you've got that cinematic colour contrast, warm faces and a cool background. It's stylish, modern, and couples think it's absolute witchcraft. You can also use gels to make any plain wall look a little bit more interesting, or to match the venue's mood lighting, or even to completely overpower the terrible DJ lights that are aggressively flashing green for no apparent reason. The key here is subtlety. Add colour, but don't drown your photo in it. Unless, of course, your couple are completely massive Marvel fans, in which case, go full Avengers Assemble. So how does all of this actually fit into a wedding day? Well, rim light is perfect for golden hour portraits. Silhouettes shine, and yes, pun is very much intended, during evening sessions or when the couple are standing in doorways. Multi-flash setups are brilliant for editorial type shots and also dress or detail shots. And your slow shutter magic can transform any dance floor. Oh yeah, and gels, well, they're your wild card. Use them to spice up any creative situation. If you start mixing and matching these techniques, your wedding galleries will begin to look incredibly varied. You're not just documenting the day anymore. You're telling a visual story with mood, energy, and style. And this is where your signature style starts to take shape. So by now, you should feel more comfortable in experimenting with more complex flash setups. You should be thinking about light direction, colour, movement, and how each choice adds storytelling to your images. And most importantly, you should feel excited, because this is the part where wedding photography starts to get really fun. And speaking of fun, in next week's episode, we're going to do something a little bit different, because lesson 8 is all about troubleshooting and common flash mistakes. That's right, we're going to talk about all of the things that can go wrong, all of the things that will go wrong, the why is my flash doing that moments, the why is the bride looking like an orange Oompa Loompa moments, and the why does this photo look like it was taken inside a microwave moment. We're going to cover misfires, weird shadows, colour issues, and sync problems. Everything that can make you panic during a wedding day. And not only that, how to fix it quickly and calmly without anyone realising that you are internally screaming. So drop me a comment and let me know which creative flash setup you're going to try first. Hit the like button if you find this lesson helpful, and don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss lesson 8. And as always, light it right. And I'll see you in the next one.